A very good day to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Candy Talk here on Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Evans Okinyi, and I'm glad that you are here with me on this important exclusive episode of the Candy Talk with Professor Herman Manyora. Prof, how are you?
Good.
The who's of the Deputy President are still on, but then a name is being mentioned here, and that is the name of the former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga. He is here, and I understand that the Deputy President is saying that if at all the Raila's persons in Parliament, of course, you know, there is that sort of working relationship right now between the UDA party and the ODM party after the broad-based formation came into place, that if at all they also go ahead and support his impeachment, then this would perhaps portray Raila as that person who comes in to destroy rather than to make things work for this country. What do you make of that? What is Raila's influence in all this, and how would the potential ouster of the Deputy President actually portray him to the country?
Raila is a politician, and politicians make moves. Raila has made a move to work with Ruto. It's a move, it's a political move. There are people who have said he's a traitor, he has betrayed the cause. Fine. That is our view. But Raila has made a move. And one of the moves he can make further is to command his troops to support the impeachment of Gachagua for whatever reason. If he thinks that's a good thing to do, then he will do it. If he thinks it's not good, he may keep off or command the troops to do otherwise. He's a politician. Yeah.
Okay. So how then would this actually portray him?
You see, I'm saying there are people who are not happy that Raila has joined Ruto. They say Sakaja was sinking, was drowning, and Raila rushed there and extended his hand and removed him from the pool where he was sinking, drowning, and akamfanyia resuscitation. So now to give Sakaja a new lease of life and to help him impeach Gachagua will feed that narrative. That Raila is a traitor, he has betrayed the cause, and so on and so forth. Yeah, but Raila can live with that.
There are those who say that, going by the words of the Deputy President, if at all his impeachment sails through, then he would be blaming Raila for something that is not Raila's doing, because in the first place, it's not actually the first time that the debate about his impeachment is surfacing here. It has been there before, even before Raila's camp joined the government. What do you make of that?
But you see now, there could be talk, but the talk has now been given impetus and substance, because now they are comfortable with the numbers, and those numbers are cutters of Raila Odinga. Yeah.
Okay.
So it will make sense.
Okay, now let's get it this way. If at all you are in a position to advise Raila, because definitely people believe that he is one person who may have some sort of a card to play here, even during this particular moment, that if Raila talks to the president and tells him, now let's do this and this and this, then perhaps he may be at a position to stop what is currently.
It's possible. It's possible. Raila has influence in the country, and his word counts for a lot. If you told the president the way I'm looking at this thing, but you see, Raila is a politician, and sometimes I wish I was the advisor.
So
to this
politically,
if I was Raila's advisor, I would tell him, you prevail upon the president to stop this impeachment, but also go quietly and tell Gachagua, I'm saving you, but we shall work together.
So whichever side Raila decides to settle on, actually, what would inform that, and what does he actually stand to gain from getting into this?
First of all, we don't know what deal he has with the president. Is the deal big enough for him to see Ruto through, including impeaching Gachagua? Or can it be something just small, and therefore Raila can go for a bigger thing like the presidency? First, by persuading the president not to impeach Gachagua. And the Gachagua must know Raila is doing it. And if the president fails to listen to Raila, Raila can then command his troops not to impeach Gachagua. But Gachagua again must be aware of what Raila is doing. So that they will meet ahead. Uko mbele watakutana. Raila mwambie, unajua sasa tuko sawa. Huyu mtu tumechapa yeye sasa. Sasa tufanye kazi. Kaa nyuma yangu tuende. That's politics. It can work like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of questions have been asked about Raila's position in Kenyan politics, because He is here, and it has said, because look at back then, during the handshake period when he came on board,
Yes.
and of course the then Deputy President William Ruto, now the current president, was thrown into some sort of political oblivion, in as much as he managed to survive and sail through to the election without being impeached or without resigning, something of that sort. So a lot has also been asked about his position, his influence, and the role that he has to play in all these at the end of the day. Do you think that this actually portrays Raila as one person who will actually help in building the country towards posterity?
You see, you must put everything in context. Those who say Raila joined Kanu and they blame, but the same people later on who say Jogo ilimeza tinga, na Jogo ikasahau kuzima tinga, tinga kakarumia ndani ya tumbo ya Jogo, so Kanu had to go. So the same people are giving accolades for helping dismantle the Kanu regime, remove it from power. So it depends at the perspective you give anything you look at. How do you look at it? What is the context? Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think, in short, could Raila be having a bigger idea by joining Ruto? Could he have bigger designs that could help the country tomorrow? For example, can we take him at face value? Take his word that if he did help Ruto, the country was going to be ungovernable. The army could even take over. That would be a good thing if that's true. You see? But for stability purposes. That's, he has said, that. And many people seem to agree with that. But there can also be those who believe this is not in the interest of the country. It's short term to help Ruto and so on and so forth. But there can also be a bigger picture, where you had Ruto into a certain corner or a certain room and then finish him the way they did Kanu, if you believe that's what happened. So it depends on how you look at it. But Raila is a skillful player. He's an artful politician. He knows how to dribble. Yes.
So in 2018, he came on board and played his card there, right? We saw that happen. And again, recently during the Gen Z demonstrations, actually, he's being blamed for betraying the cause. But then, if you look at it, it would also seem to suggest that he's one of the most important pillars as to why the Gen Z kind of protest came to a halt. Because when he came on board and spoke that we have a country here to save, then we saw what happened. At this particular moment, would you then say that perhaps the former PM would be Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua'S savior?
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. You could save him.
Okay.
What Raila says counts for a lot. The direction he takes, it will change the course of many things. If he thinks Gachagua should not be impeached, he won't be impeached. No. No, you cannot succeed. Not just by the numbers he will withdraw from the Kenya Kwanza side. So that ODM does. Not even that. That's not even the bigger thing. The national conversation that will ensue the moment Raila pronounces himself on that. Anybody will think twice before they table that motion. If Raila just stands today and say, no, this doesn't make sense. The country has bigger things to deal with than impeaching a deputy president. That alone will swing things and change the direction of things. So Raila is not a person you take for granted. Yeah. He has troops. He has persuasive power. He can persuade the president. He can take this thing to the Kenyan people through a national conversation. I mean, this thing can be determined by Raila in one morning.
But now that he is in some sort of a working relationship with the president and currently focuses on his AU campaigns, don't you then think that he's somehow compromised at this particular moment? Does he have the voice still to speak truth to power and tell the president that, look, this is right?
First of all, get this right. AU is not a matter of life and death to Raila Odinga. If Raila Odinga felt something needed to be done for the country and the AU was standing in the way, he could discard AU even now. It's number one. Number two, Raila is skillful. He doesn't have to say anything that can compromise his position at AU. He's already a candidate, okay? And there's nothing. And Raila doesn't even have to say many words. Yeah. He just needs to be passing somewhere and the press ask him, do you support this impeachment? And he doesn't say, well, me, I'm not in politics, but if you ask me, I don't think it's a good thing. That's enough. It will be headline.
But we've seen him before say that he's exited the political scene in Kenya.
Yeah, so he said, that's why you say I'm not even part of, you know me, I've left politics, I'm no longer even party leader, and therefore I don't know. But for Kenyans to decide, if now, but now me, I'm just a Raila. And if a vote was being taken and my vote was needed, I'm not sure I'll give it for impeachment. That's enough.
But do you believe Raila has actually left the Kenyan political scene?
How can he leave?
He's there, but we are still discussing him here and perhaps his potential.
How can he leave? And you know, even just one person close to him saying something, people take a cue from that. People know Raila is
the word.
So in other words, Raila can save Gachagua if he wanted to.
So politically, looking at this thing, what would Raila gain by supporting Gachagua'S impeachment or not supporting it at all? Whatever stands.
If he supports Gachagua'S impeachment, what Raila will be doing will be cementing his relationship with Ruto, farming up. Completely firm. That if there was anybody with any doubt that Ruto and Raila were working together, forget. They are working together. They are now really tight. If, on the other hand, he moves against the impeachment of Gachagua, he could be doing it for what you can see as selfish reasons. Because then that means if he runs for president, he has the sure backing of Mount Kenya. And you can imagine Raila with Mount Kenya backing. There will be no election in 2027. It will be a walkover for him. Yeah. So it depends where he chooses. Neutral, I doubt. He can pretend to be neutral, using the AU as an excuse. But he will not be neutral in real sense. Either he will be against the impeachment or for the impeachment. And if he's for the impeachment, it means him and Ruto are tight completely. If he tries to save Gachagua, it will be for a selfish reason. In other words, he wants the Mount Kenya vote in 2027 because he will stand. Yeah.
What would you advise him to do?
I cannot advise him because I'm not his advisor. I've been advising these people for free. They should begin paying me.
They should begin paying you?
Yeah.
So this same Ron, you've left him to decide whatever.
Let him decide. Because this is a very big thing. It's so big unless you sit with him. Me, whenever I meet him, we just eat fish. We don't talk politics. The ones in a while meeting we have, you can just have fish.
Okay.
Yes, at 3D.
Ladies and gentlemen, how significant do you think the former Prime Minister is at this particular moment with all these political happenings in this country? Well, you've heard what Prof has to say. You can weigh in on this conversation and tell us what you actually think. Allow me stop this conversation at this particular moment. Stay tuned to some of our programs that will be coming up next. Jadel Kabiro is always here, as well as Richard Mwenja from the Candid Talk. Let's meet again when we do so. Thank you for watching. My name is Evans Okinyi.